Barrow Hill Roundhouse near Chesterfield has been preserved as a locomotive depot and provides an authentic setting to view locomotives. Kevin Stuffler draws a visiting B12 460 onto the turntable. The roundhouse, with storage tracks leading from a central turntable, was a common loco shed arrangement. The atmosphere inside, as locos are steamed and prepared, is uniquely tangible, if not exactly healthy, though many rail fans would claim that steam locomotive smoke is beneficial to the lungs. The depot remained in use well into the diesel era, though latterly only for stabling diesels between jobs and for train crews signing on duty. Midland Railway Tank 41708 is no stranger to Barrow Hill, as it was once one of the resident shunters at nearby Staveley Ironworks, where the Midland Railway had a 99-year contract to provide shunting engines. This design formed the basis of the later Ginty 060 tank engine, built in their hundreds as the LMS standard shunter. The B12 was a Great Eastern Railway design for working expresses between London and Harwich, and was once considered to be the last word in express passenger locomotive design. 61572 has been renumbered as 61574 for photographic purposes. Many B12s, including this one, were rebuilt by Sir Nigel Gresley with larger boilers. This engine is the only survivor. Many of the unrebuilt examples finished their careers working secondary services far from home in the northeast of Scotland. But it's goods engines that are most appropriate for Barrow Hill. Barrow Hill is a depot and not a working tourist railway, but there is enough space to run short demonstration freight trains, like this period example behind the resident Johnson 1F tank. The same short train is now in the hands of a North Eastern Railway Y7040 tank and an Austerity 060 saddle tank, a class built in large numbers for industry, some of which found their way into the BR fleet. Another private line that certainly knows how to successfully market itself is the Great Central Railway, linking Loughborough with Leicester. Running over part of the former Marylebone to Sheffield main line, the Great Central, with the backing of the Mainline Steam Trust, aspires to recreate the atmosphere of mainline steam, running large engines over double-track line. Although running through a pleasant enough rural landscape, the Great Central doesn't have the dramatic scenic virtues of, say, the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, and must rely on some very professional marketing to attract customers. The Great Central regards enthusiasts as important customers and quotes up to 60% of its passengers as falling into this category. While it would be unfair to say that other lines didn't attempt to please steam fans, this aspect is perhaps more important to the Great Central, given its less dramatic scenic aspects. Accurately recreating the days when Western Region 460s worked holiday expresses south from Nottingham Victoria to the south and west, with a slack haul accelerates a southbound train over the newly installed double-track section. With a slack haul is no stranger to the line, as shortly after being built it actually worked over Great Central metals during the famous 1948 locomotive exchanges. Another of the line's major projects has been the provision of additional siding accommodation at Swithland to provide storage space for both passenger and freight stock, including the splendid Steam Railway-sponsored wind cutter rake of 16-ton mineral wagons. Rothley Station has been faithfully restored, complete with authentic signal box and many carefully chosen items of station furniture. The overall effect is to recreate this typical Great Central Island station much as it would have looked when it was first opened in 1899. The use of visiting locos, like this standard Class 4 from the East Somerset Railway, which is on extended loan, is a surefire way to generate extra interest. Rothley was the limit of operations until the extension to Leicester North was opened in 1991. One of the line's long-term ambitions is to reopen all the way to Nottingham, and there's already a group looking at the feasibility of this particular objective. Another stalwart is 8F48305. Built at Crewe in 1943, the loco is currently owned by Roger Hibbert. Although the Great Central is already famous for its double-track section, the second line has still to be relayed over the vast majority of the route, and some parts still retain the feel of an attractive secondary main line. BR Black Liveried 6990, with its appropriate train of assorted BR Liveried coaches, completes the scene. The Swindon-built Standard 4, restored to its BR appearance, heads another assorted rake of coaches, including an ex-London and North Eastern catering vehicle. Once a regular mainline performer, the National Railway Museum-owned loco, Sir Lamille, is now in the custody of the 5305 Preservation Group, which moved its operational base from Humberside to Loughborough. Mainline steam operations facing an increasingly uncertain future, the long-term aims of the Great Central, with its double-track running, are certainly becoming more and more attractive. For many rail fans, there's no doubt that the ultimate thrill would be to actually drive a steam loco. With many private lines now offering footplate experience courses, we decided to join two enthusiasts to see exactly what you get for your money. These footplate experience courses start at around £200, but you can spend over £1,000 if you want the line to yourself for the day. After a conducted tour of the loco shed, when the working footplate had to be reserved strictly for crews with plenty of experience, and the only way to learn to drive was the hard way, by working your way up from a cleaner through to fireman. Of course, as far as public service